Greetings YouTube, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back to another look at an early access game. And this time we are having another look at the game Ancestors Legacy. Ancestors Legacy allows you to play as some of the different factions all across the world, and you take place in some of the greatest military campaigns throughout time. Now you can play as a number of different factions, including the Vikings, the Roman army, the Saracens, and now with the new expansion pack, Saladins Conquest, you get to play as Saladin, the leader of the armies of the Muslims. Now I've been greatly anticipating this expansion pack as I'm a big fan of Ancestors Legacy. One IC Productions kindly reached out to me and offered me the new expansion pack to try and let you know what my thoughts are. Now before we start looking at this, I have to mention the controversy around the game. You do take part in the army of, the fight over the Holy Lands, and there were a lot of atrocities that occurred at that time. But One IC Productions are always really good at showing these epic battles and times of history while maintaining a apolitical stance. They just simply show these events as they happened, and they don't really try to pass judgment on any faction or group. So with that out of the way, let's jump in and have a look at the campaign. So we're going to be playing the first mission as Saladin's army.
The world is always on fire. The tribes of the Holy Lands have been bickering for centuries over spurious statues and false prophets, and all that division only fuels hate and scars the lands of Allah. Only 100 years ago, the Christians fought against us in their so-called Holy Crusade. Deceived by their leaders and the Vatican, the Crusaders believed their bloodshed and ransacking of our lands to be a holy act. This glorified slaughter of our people, legislated by Satan himself, dressed in papal robes, resulted in the conquest of Jerusalem. The tribes of Allah were in disarray. I was the first to unite them under one banner, to start the only war that mattered, a war in the name of the one true God, the greatest war the Holy Lands had ever seen. I was always told I was special, that I would lead the people of this earth to the light of Allah. What a fool I was. I wagered their words over those of God's, falling to my own hubris. Only 10 years ago, the leprous boy king Baldwin IV of Jerusalem shattered my forces at Montissade. I barely escaped with my life. Yet Allah works in mysterious ways. After the leprous king's death, the kingdom of Jerusalem was in disarray, and I, Salah ad-Din, the first of the Ayyubid dynasty, was granted another chance to prove myself. I will purify the sacred lands of my ancestors. At the Horns of Hattin, a most sacred battleground, I will face the Christian forces and reconquer the jeweled city of the Holy Lands. Jerusalem will once again know peace, in the name of Allah.
Alright, so that's quite a setup for our campaign. We are going to be taking part in one of the greatest battles between the armies of Saladin and the Holy Crusaders, the Knights Templar. Let's jump in and have a look.
Father, I'm so bored of traveling. When will we finally reach Sepphoris?
Well, we still have some ways to go along this road until we get to the main trade route.
I see. May I ride ahead and see if there's anything unexpected waiting us?
Well, go if you must, but not too far. Your mother will kill me if anything happens to you.
Alright, so we begin the game as some humble traders trying to make their way through the Holy Lands. It's a very dangerous time to be either a Muslim or a Crusader, because the two armies are in the midst of a vicious war. So we're just going to see if there's anything nasty awaiting us.
Come on, you did the right thing. Tensions in Tiberias are getting high. It's time for us to get out of here. Ooh, I'm sure someone will arrive soon who will be happy to share some supplies with us.
Oh no. I must warn the others.
It doesn't matter what time in history you're in, there's always bandits trying to take your stuff.
Stop! Stop! There are bandits ahead, and they've hidden in the bushes. They will attack us as soon as they see our caravans.
By the Prophet! How many are there?
I didn't get the exact count, but surely about 10.
We're too far from the city to turn back. There is no other way forward. We'll have to sneak up on them and teach them a lesson. Lead the way, my son.
Their camp is surrounded by bushes. If we use them as cover, we should have a chance to surprise them.
Alright, so the mechanics are rather similar to the base campaign. There is a lot of emphasis on tactics and managing your men. A good terrain and good planning can see an army that is much smaller in number take out a larger force. So having a look at these, we've got two groups here, a group of 6, a group of 3. We're going to have our two heroes attack the smaller group, and our main army attack the larger. In a pincer movement, let's jump in and see the action. This is one of the things about Ancestors Legacy I love. You can get right in there and see how the battle's going. We are winning. We better zoom out and try and help our heroes. I know they're doing okay.
We did it. Curses. I left the military to become a merchant to avoid these kinds of situations.
Yes, we did it.
Let's head back to the caravans. We have to step up the pace.
Okay. So what I did then was I used the healing ability. They can make camp and rest, much like the bandits were when we attacked them, and that will restore their health. We can't get back our units that have died. We can only replace units at a base, which we don't have right now.
Father, one of these bandits said something about high tensions in the neighborhood. What was he talking about?
Don't pretend you haven't heard what people are saying. Apparently Saladin gathers his forces near Tel Ashtara, and Jerusalem doesn't remain idle. The Crusader Knights flow from their cities and fortresses, and are setting off to join forces with King Guy de Lusignan.
It seems like these thugs were right. It's getting dangerous around here.
Who knows? Things may turn violent very soon. Though with the help of Allah, we will be far away when it happens. Now watch your feet, son. The ground is unstable.
I imagine there'll be much more bloodshed. Speaking of which,
Look, brother! Reino de Chatillon was right! There are still infidels wandering this trail! Follow me! Kill the pagans! In the name of God! Deus Vos!
uh-oh. So we're very badly outmatched. These guys are heavily armed, heavily armoured, and we're just farmers, merchants. Unfortunately, that was a complete loss for us.
Our scouts were right. These are pilgrims of the false god on their way to Nazareth.
Saladin, these are unarmed people. Maybe if you show them mercy.
No, Gugabori. There is a fine line between mercy and weakness. I've been merciful many times already. Even as Renaud de Chatillon continues to break our truce, my mercy has come to an end. These Christians are responsible for the deaths of our brothers and sisters. Abdullah, you know what to do. We will meet by the dead tree on the plain when you are done.
Yes, Saladin! Riders, follow me! It's time for revenge! In the name of Allah! Slaughter! Kill!
Alright, so our mission is to now destroy all of the pilgrims. Let's get our army together and ride them down.
On the move!
Brothers, listen!
Alright, so not one of the most noble things to do to wipe out a bunch of unarmed Christians. But that being said, there was atrocities committed by both sides in this war. It was a very long and bloody period of history. We can only do as we're ordered.
I'm done waiting! Forward!
Make this as quick and merciful as we can.
Look! Brothers! There are more of them! Get them! Death to the infidels! Time to move! That's ours!
Now, one of the things about One I See, as I've mentioned before, they show the events of history, and they don't have any sort of judgment on the people or the events. They show things that happened. They show the events of history, whether they were good or bad. And this is what happened.
Bloodshed be an omen of triumph for the one and only true God. Allahu Akbar!
And I'd like to see more games like this, more games that show history, that aren't afraid to potentially cause a bit of controversy where appropriate.
Attacking us was a fatal mistake.
Who was that?
We ran into a small local militia unit. Nothing major. So, how was it dealing with the matter?
Splendid. While we're waiting for Saladin to arrive, would you mind having a look at the wounds of my riders?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, our new recruits have a healing ability. Oh, that's nice. It's quite a big radius too.
Ah, you are here. Good. We did what we had to do. But now, we must focus on what lies ahead of us. As soon as Guy de Lusignan hears we are besieging Tiberias, he will send the army of Jerusalem via Sepphoris. We need to prepare.
There are several water sources in the area, which the infidels' army could use. We will destroy them, and the desert sun will do the rest.
The wells are defended by the crusaders' garrisons, but this is nothing my riders can't handle.
Good. Take care of it. These are all the forces I can spare, so you'll have to make do. I must set off to keep an eye on the march of our main forces.
Consider it done, Saladin. May the wisdom of the Prophet guide us.
Okay, so we've got quite a nice
Right!
selection of units here now. Now, one thing I've learned
First, it will be easier to progress
is to
further
use
and
the hero
replenish our
units.
troops.
Hero units are very tough, as long as you keep an eye on them.
Allahu Akbar!
So I'm going to go here and try and tempt them to attack me. Because we've got some melee units, we've got some range units, and they've got static defenses. So I would like to ideally have them attack outside of the range of their weapons. So we can see if we can.
Abdullah!
See, we'll get our hero units in there.
Gokbury!
Get in there, Gokbury. Our hero units can take quite a pounding before they go down. And we can always have Abdullah retreat.
Gokbury!
Let's actually... We should be shooting their archers, actually. Nice. So what we want to do now, we've taken out their main forces.
Fast as lightning! Yes!
Can use the healing skill.
Going!
And we're going to have our two heroes attack first.
No mercy!
And then use our archers.
Let's go! More action!
We want to try and get that watchtower down as fast as we can.
Gokbury!
Allahu Akbar!
Get everybody burning that building down. We've only got light losses. Looking good. We've lost one horseman. I can live with that. So that was a smashing victory. Good use of tactics there. Use of our heroes. Once we've... There we go.
Very well. This is a safe place for us to regroup if we have to retreat.
So we've now replenished our troops.
Always ready. Faster! Fast as lightning! Cockbury!
I'm just going to wait for my guy to get his healing. Oh, and while we're waiting, we'll order our men to destroy the well. Our goal, of course, to deny the Christian armies access to the water. I can only hope that we got some water ourselves before we did this.
So sure the infidels will move their lazy asses from their comfortable beds.
We have not laid siege to Tiberius without reason. The Count of Tripoli's wife is in the citadel, and the Count has a hearing at the king's table. Saladin is confident that the hot-blooded Christians will take the bait, so we can fight them on our own terms.
I think we're wasting our time here, riding back and forth in the desert like fools. We should just attack the filthy infidels.
Did you question the orders of Saladin?
All I am saying is that the Almighty God is never wrong.
Alright, so we've got some enemies here. And I think our earlier tactic will be a good one to use. Use our heroes, try and absorb some of that damage. Okay. We need to get those guys. We're going to retreat Abdullah.
Always ready.
I'm done waiting.
Okay, and retreat our horses. And retreat Gokbury. Now you might think that was a bad war there, but you have a look at our losses versus theirs.
Abdullah, let's go.
So we're going to regroup our soldiers and we're going to hit them again.
Right. Cavalry, archers.
So we did get hurt a bit there, but I think their losses were worse than ours. And we can heal our units too.
Time to move.
Abdullah took some damage there, so I'm going to try this again. And it is a little bit of a hit and run, but we have to
They don't stand a chance.
be careful here.
Cavalry.
Okay, so let's get our archers in there.
Abdullah. Always ready.
Gokbury retreat.
Always ready. Abdullah.
And Abdullah retreat. And we'll these idiots have followed us. Take them out. Very bad idea. Nicely done. Nicely done. We crushed them. So now we've got we've got a few units.
Fast as lightning.
Our heroes unfortunately are rather hurt, so it will be up to our mounted men to take the fight to them. But we're going to try and see if we can soften them up a bit. And hopefully our archers can do a little bit of damage from range. There we go, they're going to use some shots.
Together as one. Cavalry.
Charge them! Nicely done.
For victory.
Our heroes are hurt, but we can round them up. Nicely done.
As one.
So that was really well done.
Forward. March. Heavy cavalry. Fast as lightning.
So what we did there was a little bit of hit and run, but as you can see our losses were very manageable, very low. We took out a force that was nearly the same size as us. And by exploiting some rather high health heroes, actually, we're going to use the healing skill again. That's a really nice skill. So that's 2 out of 4 wells done. Looking good. So that well will burn down now. Oh wait, there's some armour there. I missed that.
The enemy is on the move. The infidels are marching as if the devil himself was chasing them. They want to reach Tiberias before dark.
Do you have anything to say, Abdullah al-Mohammadi?
Nothing that is intended for you to hear, Gokbori.
Alright.
I'm done waiting. This way. Right.
So this is one of the hardest campaigns I've played.
Inshallah.
We need to get these this armour, because every little bit of help we can get is going to give us an advantage. Let's have a look at the other camp, see if there's anything that we can loot. Now, as you can see, we've got a modest income. Very small, but it's enough to replenish our troops when needed. Okay, so let's head back to base.
Let's go. Going.
My healing skills recharge, so we're going to use that again. I'm going to shamelessly spam the healing skill. But it works well.
Let's go. Going.
So we're halfway. We've got 2 camps to take out, and these are going to be a lot bigger, a lot more nasty.
Let's talk. More action. On the move. Always ready.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of money that we've earned. We can replenish the armor.
Inshallah.
Okay, excellent. So we've got everybody, got everyone rearmed. They've got health. It's time, and I think the old rope-a-dope tactic with the hero seems to be working well. So as long as we don't get cocky.
Let's talk. More action. Time to move.
Inshallah. Going.
Always sharp.
Time is precious.
Ready your bow. Abdullah.
I'm going to try and see if we can.
No mercy. Time to move. Yalla, yalla.
There we go.
No mercy.
Take out some of these guys.
Abdullah.
Oh, Abdullah's he's in some trouble here. He's doing well considering. The friendly fire is doing more damage than anything else. Retreat, Abdullah. See if these idiots, oh yeah, they're going to attack. We'll use our own archers to do a little bit of damage.
Let's talk. More action.
They don't seem to be hurting Gokbri very much though. He has very high armor, so we'll just let's see if we can. There we go. Nicely done. Crushed them. Destroyed. That's what you get. Now that's how we destroy an army. So you might argue my tactics were a little bit cheap, but don't argue with results. We didn't lose a single unit then.
Time is precious. Together as one. Yalla! Yes.
And plus that heal ability is very handy. Okay, 3 out of 4. We're smashing hard. So let's now we got to level up. Let's assign. I think our shock troops are going to be for offense. Oops. Let's assign our. So movement, healing speed, increased fire rate. I think offensive. So that's our cavalry is going to be offensive, and they haven't earned a level up yet.
I can't wait to see the infidels dying of thirst in the rays of the hot sun.
And Abdullah will be defensive.
Look, the Christians sent a scouting patrol ahead of their army. We should wipe them out.
Calm down. Our task is to get rid of the water sources in this region. We must stay focused.
Your cowardice clouds your judgment, comrade. If we do not deal with them now, they may return with greater strength.
I wonder why your tongue is so dull in the presence of Saladin. Gokbury, I'm going!
Okay, we might
Right.
let's see if we can do it again.
Kill them!
Maybe
Let's talk.
dupe them into attacking.
This way.
Yes! Move! Slaughter them!
Nice. So we faked retreat and then recharged into the group. Abdullah's he's getting hit pretty hard.
Right!
Let's get Gokbury in there. So we're just going to be using him as a bit of a meat shield. But as you can see, it works really well.
Gokbury!
He's getting hit hard. Nice. That was a good charge. So we just kill the remnants of them now. Retreat our units that are nearly dead. And hopefully they'll be enough to take them out. Okay, we'll retreat those guys off. And there's a reason why we've done that. Again, we can replenish our units. They can't. So let's do that now. So let's have a look at the losses. Wow, okay. So we've lost a few units here. We lost some cavalry units, but as you can see, their units have been halved. So we've taken out half their units. That was quite a good... Oh, wow, okay. Yeah.
Abdullah! Always ready!
So we're just waiting for our units to replenish. There we go. So as you can see, we're kind of digging into our resources, but we've got 200 wood. It costs wood to recruit units. Let's see if our friend Gokbury's ready. There we go. Heal again. Okay, let's take him out. We're back to full strength, and they're somewhat decimated. They've also got their units which are out of formation. So a decent cavalry charge to the rear once our other units catch up. A nice cavalry charge took out a large amount of them. And their other units they've wandered off. So we'll let our heroes take the last of them out. Nicely done. So the two heroes can take the remainders out. Now I will admit I have played this once before, And the first time I played it, I didn't use this trick with the heroes, and I got absolutely decimated. So this is a really, really good tactic. And these heroes, they're pretty tough, and they can heal very quickly. So it's a valid tactic. So he's going to take this last guy out. There we go.
Good! Good! Death to the enemies of the land! That's ours! Mounted archers! I'm done waiting! Yes.
So we should be ready for another heal. There we go. And we're on to the last well.
Always sharp!
And this is the toughest.
Archer cavalry! Yeah!
This has got the largest garrison. But if we're smart, actually before we go there, we can take some of this armor. We're going to take the armor. And you can see here this other, it's not as big as before. 4 groups, we've got some entrenched defenses. But if we can trick them into abandoning their base, we're going to go pinch some more armor. We want our riders to be actually.
This armor will serve us well in our righteous cause.
We'll take the. We'll give some to our archers.
Always ready!
As you can see, we've got a little bit of metal left over. Not too bad. So we're going to invest in a little bit of armor for our character, as we've got a little bit of metal here. I can't armor up my hero units, unfortunately.
This way! Faster! Heavy cavalry! Together as one! Right!
There we go. Well, our hero units are fully healed, so we're going to use the same tactics again and attempt to goad them into leaving their base. So we use a hero unit, give them a couple of snipe a couple with the bow, and retreat a little bit. When these guys take a bit of damage, we'll just retreat them. And they've left the safety of their town, so their mounted defences don't mean anything. And these idiots are shooting their own men by attacking our... Oh, Abdullah's in a bit of trouble. It's up to you, Gokbury. So we haven't inflicted large casualties on them, but they're hurting more of their men by firing into their group. Let's get our archers in there. Sorry, Gokbury, this is going to hurt a little bit, but retreat you. And time for a charge. Get out of there, Gokbury. You're going to get yourself killed. Oh, see you later, archers. Okay, well done, well done. So, minor losses, 1 unit. Let's get everyone in to a heal. Not too bad. So this is the last town we need to destroy, and the last well. Okay, so our units, there we go, they can take them out from safety. outside the range of the town's attacks. Destroying that will also destroy all the buildings around and any units. I always feel bad when we do this. We're just a bunch of innocent people getting set on fire and being brutally killed. But such is the nature of warfare. There's no time for sentimentality on the battlefield. So we nearly got it. Once this is destroyed, it will. There we go. So if we get one of our hero units in there to capture it. Alright, so after this we will mount our next campaign against the main body of the Knights Templar, and that's where things will get even more challenging. Alright, we now control the last village, and we're destroying the final well. That well will burn down, and this place is as good as ours.
Great! All the wells have been destroyed. The desert is now on our side. We need to send word to Saladin.
Alright, we now have to report to our illustrious leader and let him know of our success.
Saladin, we were just about to send a messenger.
We have to act fast. The Crusaders have rolled up their camp and are marching towards Tiberias. They will be here any minute. Have you destroyed all the wells?
We did not leave a single drop of water for them. There was also an enemy patrol, but we took care of them.
Very well. We must be swift. Very soon, God will test the strength of our faith in him. Kukbori, I have brought you the rest of your men. When the enemy arrives, harass them and slow them down with a volley of arrows. Hit and run attacks. Avoid open battle. Crusader armor is thick, but time is on our side. Abdullah, ride with me. I need you to engage the other section of the Christians' army. Now, get to work. Let the wisdom of Allah guide us.
Right, Saladin. Praise be the Prophet.
Alright, we just now need to make two groups. And they will control the ridge and harass the enemy.
What do you know about the enemy's army? What is their marching formation? The Count of Tripoli leads the vanguard. King Guy commands the center, and Balin-Diblin follows with the rearguard. They are marching in a column. Knights in the middle, surrounded by infantry. We must avoid their knights. They are too dangerous. We only have to tire the Christians and slow them down, not fight the whole army. Let's take positions.
So again, it's all about tactics. We're outnumbered. The enemy has better weapons than us, larger numbers as well. We had to approach this from a guerrilla warfare perspective. Okay, all of our men are now in place. And get them as close to the edge of the ridge as possible for maximum damage.
They're coming. It's just their vanguard of poorly armored infantry. Wound as many enemy soldiers as possible. The injured ones will cause chaos, and surely their ranks will crumble.
Wow, what a slaughter.
Shoot us down like animals.
We are shooting them down.
Goat fucker. We can't reach them yet. Hold formation for fuck's sake. March!
Well, there goes my monetization for the episode. We need to be very careful that we do not get cornered. We need to keep harassing them, keep taking them out, and hope that these guys keep making stupid mistakes.
Slay these pagans!
Oh, nearly cornered me.
Good! The cowards are fleeing! We have a moment to catch our breath and regroup! The Crusader Knights will be here any moment. They have tougher armor and higher morale than this rabble.
Worry not. We won't have to kill them. We will wound as many as possible, and their injuries will slow down the others. We have until dusk. Ready your bow!
Saladin's army are the masters of guerrilla warfare. The English knights have their weapons and their numbers, but we know the land, and we can plan out our attacks a little bit better than what they can.
They're coming!
Ready your bow!
We're going to upgrade our characters to do more damage, piercing damage. We're going to use we've got a special attack which allows us to fire a large amount of arrows at once. And these guys have to go. They're the enemy archers. You definitely don't want any of those alive.
We must reach the barriers as soon as possible to break the siege!
Crush them.
Formation! Stay together!
No mercy. As you can see, we're doing quite well. We're going to use our rapid fire skill again.
Shieldsmen! Shields up! Keep moving! Forward!
And we're doing very, very well. This is a very bad position for them to be in because they're trapped in the ridge. In the military approach, this is probably one of the worst places you can be in. A narrow pass with no way to go except for one direction, forward and back. We hold all the cards. If we play this right, we can decimate this large army. But they still have heavy armor and superior numbers.
We don't need to kill all of them. Keep attacking the groups that are still fresh.
Let's get down there. We want to try and see if we can harass them. We also want to see if we can break their formation. There we go. Very, very silly mistake to make. Their formations are protecting them. We need to take out these shielded enemies. They're dangerous. The spearmen are dangerous as well, but they just don't have the heavy armor of these shieldsmen. We break their formation, we cut them down. And we're going quite well at the moment. Now, in terms of the battle, we need to kill 220 units, which is a little bit of an effort. Oh, let's... Oh, I took out one of our units. We're between two units here, we need to be careful.
Hold formation, you morons! You think you can catch a mounted rider on foot? Stick together! Continue the march!
You guys are going to get crushed. That was a very silly mistake to make. They're between two groups of archers here. It's not going to go well. We're halfway, and we now have some knights we need to destroy. Need to take out these knights.
I'd give up a whole month's pay for a sip of cold water.
See you later, knights. Very well done. The knights are our main concern. They're the only ones that can really do any sort of damage to us.
We have to wait for the troops behind us to catch up!
Try and there we go. These idiots have broken formation once again.
Dumb archers are massacring us! Shut your mouth, peasants! We have orders to wait for the rest of the vanguard forces.
And these guys are still making a very silly mistake by
Look! The next section of the Christian forces is approaching. That's good! We should focus our efforts on them.
Oh, they're going right into our main town. That's a very silly mistake to make. There we go, our main units. There we go, should be able to take the last of the knights out. Cut them down. We're nearly there at the moment. That was a close call. Those knights could have done some serious damage. So now all we ever do, fire on them. They're forced to camp here because they're waiting for the rest of their army to catch up. And with a little bit of work, enough harassment, these guys will break rank, break formation, and try and attack us. And that's when we can really start to do some damage. There we go. Big mistake. We're 3/4 there. The slaughter is going well. Not for them, but very well for us. We've got one more unit of knights we need to worry about. Oh, we took out one of our units. Get rid of these archers. That's it.
Fucking hell! Enough of this! You are gonna pay dearly, you cursed bastards! We should avoid
No, we're not.
Their mobility makes them a very serious threat.
Oh, here comes some more. We need to speed this up a bit though. Once we get rid of these knights, we'll be okay. Oh, there we go. You're outnumbered. You're done. That's the last of their knights taken care of. It's now just it's a numbers game. We just have to keep taking them down. 180 out of 220. I think we've got this. If we're careful, we can do this. These guys are making some very stupid mistakes.
This pace, there is no fucking way we'll reach Tiberias before dark.
30 units left. They outnumber us, but we have the weapons of the units.
Gather yourselves! With the blessing of the Holy Trinity, move on!
Retreat, you idiots. Oh, well, we got one more guy. We're okay. We can still do this. We've lost some units, but their losses definitely outweigh ours at the moment.
Good! Very good! One final effort, my brothers!
So hit and run, serpentine. The last of their knights had to go down.
We must hurry up!
Well, there we go. There's the last of their knights. Let's get rid of those.
New orders from the king! We must set up camp here, where we stand!
We've done it.
We shall continue the march tomorrow!
That is you're going to pay dearly for setting up camp there.
Allah is great. It was an exhausting day for the Crusaders. Now, we will make sure they will find neither peace nor rest during their sleep. I brought some rested horsemen with me. We won't let the Christians forget about our presence all night.
The infidels won't sleep tonight, Saladin. I'll see to it, for the glory of Allah.
Ah, good. Gukbori, you'll take command of our left wing. When the time comes, you'll cut off the escape route for the Christians. Let us proceed.
Alright, one last grand push to destroy the Christian army. Alright guys, it's time for the final push into the camp of the Christian army, or the Christian knights. Now, they're obviously very tired. We did win the last battle rather decisively, but they still have a lot more warriors, and they're lots of better armed than us.
Hey, riders, help! The Crusaders are attacking our forces!
It's our patrol! Follow me, riders. We have to help them. Fast as lightning.
Now we have to. Looks like there's a group of them that made it past our lines, as trying to harass one of our local units here. So we'll send Al Muhammadi to attack their archers and our main force to attack them from the rear. Now our goal in this map is rather simple. All we need to do is to destroy their tents.
No one was supposed to see us.
The goal of destroying the tents is to deny them the ability to rest. And without shelter, without sleep, their army should fold fairly quickly. This battle's going quite well for us. We'll let our knights finish them off. Nicely done. Oh, we've got a couple more on the bottom. We finish them off. Nicely done.
Thank you for saving us, Abdullah al-Muhammadi. I didn't recognize you right away. Please, forgive me.
Worry not, brother. What are you doing here?
After a day of walking in the heat, the spirits of the Christians are weak. Many of their soldiers cannot stand it and are fleeing under the cover of night. They are trying to sneak through these 3 paths and vanish into the ravines. We have orders to stop them.
A great idea. I'll take command of your units, and together we'll make sure that no scabby coward gets out of here alive.
Yes, General. We can light up the campfire so it's easier for us to spot them.
Alright, so we've got some spearmen that we managed to rescue.
Quickly.
I'm going to send them firstly to set up some traps,
We're moving. Spears on me.
because there's a couple of ways that they can exit the level. We want to try and make it as difficult as possible to let them escape. Now, despite our orders, I'm a bit of a bookworm, and one of my favourite books is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And he states that you should never trap an enemy entirely, always leave them a route of escape. And the reason for that is because if you do trap an enemy, then they will become desperate. They have no means of getting away, and they're a lot more difficult to take out. The other thing being that by providing them a means of escape, we're essentially splitting their forces too. So it's easy for me to be an armchair general, of course. So these traps are to slow down the enemy, just in case they manage to make it past, and give us a bit of a chance in case they do make it past us. We might do one more. We've got the resources, we might as well use them. Oh, we've got to speed this up. We don't have a lot of time. Okay. Looking good. So we've got traps down, we've got most of the fireplaces lit. And that should be the last 2. We'll assemble our spearmen together. You do have to be very quick, and as I mentioned before, it feels the difficulty of this campaign has been ramped up a fair bit compared to the rest of the game. Ancestors Legacy is not an easy game at the best of times, but it just feels a lot more challenging. Okay, so we've got our spearmen here. We might have you guys set up another spike trap.
Look, the Christians are fleeing like rats. Don't let them escape. Kill them where they stand.
We'll get our cavalry to take those guys out. Well, we've got the time. They're coming in from the other direction.
I beg you. We don't want to fight. We just want to return to our homeland.
You praise a false god and betray your comrades in arms. You don't deserve to live.
Now, yeah, it's unfortunate. These guys, they just want to go home. So, unfortunately, this war's starting in earnest, and it's not going to end until one side is destroyed. And for those history buffs, we know for sure it certainly wasn't the Crusaders that won this battle.
I'm done waiting. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, we're cutting these guys down. They're not trying to fight. They just want to leave.
It's like no time to waste.
All right, that's the last of it. It should be calm, at least for now.
Okay, so we're going to split our forces out now. Abdullah and our spearmen are going to go up to this camp here and recuperate.
You look worn out, brothers.
Our knights, on the other hand, are going to be... Whoops, don't go that way. Our other guys are going to be healing and preparing to stop any invading forces or any escaping forces. Now the trick here is, of course, we don't want to be fighting these guys. We want to try and sneak around their patrols and burn these tents to the ground. So let's do that. And we'll do the other one if we have time. That's it. Yep, escape, guys. Don't fight them. There we go. So that was a nice one. We took out 2 tanks.
Please, let me take a look.
These guys will heal up nicely. Beautiful. We'll go and take out another couple of tents. We have to take out 10 tents. It's going to get harder as we go, because these guys are going to strengthen their patrols. These tents, of course, being the only means of protection from the elements. We've got another patrol coming here. This might be difficult. We're going to have to time it, duck in there and then retreat. No, we won't make it. We'll go around, wait for these guys to pass, then take out this tent here. 5 tents being our goal. I want to try and take out 5. Get a bit further. Burn that down.
Sound the alarm! The Saracens are here!
There we go.
God, please have mercy.
Nicely done.
What is all that racket?
Now burning the tents, of course, will create a nice little distraction. Sorry guys, I know it's bastard tactics, but you know, we do what we got to do. Burn another one.
You know what to do with them, brothers.
Oh, we might get 2 here. Retreat.
They are not Muslims.
But we lost a couple.
Lucifer himself.
That's okay.
Kill the patrols. We have to protect the camp.
But sir, the men are tired after marching all day in the heat.
I
Oh,
don't
we've got
care.
some units here.
Tomorrow, we will continue our march to glory and victory.
We had to get them in there quick, smart. We've got some units that are trying to escape. So we're going to engage the front units. We made it just in time. Abdullah's struggling here. But he did what he had to do. He managed to delay them long enough for our forces to do what they need to do. Use some of his special abilities. Oh, Abdullah's he's hurting. Let's get these. Abdullah, you retreat. You're in some pain right now. Take out the remaining units. Uh-oh. They're going to make it past. The spears should, the trap should take them out. There we go. It looks like our men are struggling a little bit. Let's go and help them out. So it's a bit of a juggling act here. We've got to... There we go.
I don't see any others. At least for now.
Get our spearmen up to recover their health. Our cavalry losses are low. We'll press on with them because we have time limits. These deserters are going to keep coming. Our spearmen are yep, they're nicely healed up. So we're halfway. We've got 5 of these tents, 5 to go. There's a couple here. We're going to take these out. They're the closest. Oh, we took that out. We'll get these up here. Actually, we'll go for these because they're. Let's take this one out. There we go, another one down. Sorry guys, nothing personal. We do what we got to do. Let's see if we can get another one. We might take a hit here, but that's okay.
Don't run, you fucking piece of shit!
Okay. We did lose a few men, but 2 tents left. We can do this. I chose to lose a few men then. That's okay. We have the resources to replenish them. And if we let this drag on too long, we're going to lose more men anyway. We've got a couple of tents along here, nice, easy. That's why I left them till last. I deliberately chose the more difficult tents to start with because I knew the patrols would get thicker as we went. There we go. So two tents left. We can do these last 2 here. We got this in the bag, guys. I shouldn't get cocky.
Watch out! They're coming! They think we won't see them. They won't trick us that easily.
Let's burn this bad boy. Oh no, let's do this one. They're coming. We gotta make this quick. Alright, 9 out of 10.
May your souls burn in the eternal fire of Allah, you condemned scum!
1 tent left. Okay, there's a nice gap here. We can take out the last tent. Let's do this.
Kill this Arabian scum! Come on!
Die in the flames, godless filth!
Okay, nicely done.
Today will be the day of a great triumph for Allah. Brothers, you did well. We will withdraw the rest of our forces. Let them roll up their camp and take a walk in the burning sun once more.
Alright, it's time to leave.
Together as one! Cavalry,
Okay, so here come the rest of our forces. That was well done. Quick and efficient. We had some minor losses of cavalry, but I think their losses are going to be a lot greater than ours. Trapped in the middle of the burning desert with no water, no shelter. They're going to die in a really bad way. So we're going to let's get our men. It's time to retreat. Or time to meet our main army. So yeah, we have to retreat.
Time to move. Cavalry, spear militia, quickly!
This will all be over soon. The Crusaders are marching for the second day in a row, without any water or protection from the sun. Their injured troops burden them and weaken their morale. They are exhausted and at death's doorstep. Brothers, Allah gave us this day of victory as a reward for our prayers. Today, we will break the Christian forces. Follow me! Let us show them the wrath we have carried in our hearts for almost 100 years. Today, we begin the march to retake Jerusalem!
Alright, it's now time to destroy the last of their forces. Let's mop the remaining forces up. Alright, time for the final battle. We have our main forces here.
Tougher than stone.
And Saladin himself.
Let's go! Cavalry, we ride!
Oh, he's a beast. Took out half their guys in one go. So we're going to hold back our cavalry. We're going to attack with our spearmen. And then attack from the side. Nicely done. So we crushed them from the side. A really good attack there. A flanking attack from our cavalry. Now they have to mop up what's left. Saladin, get in there. You're the general. Lead your men to victory. Let's get in and see the action. So Saladin's, I don't know what he's doing. He's out to lunch.
That's good. Let them flee. We should help our forces at the ravine.
Yeah, we've got another force here. We'll hit them from behind and do a hell of a lot of damage. Do what you got to do, men. Leave none alive. Come on, General. Saladin's one of the best heroes I've used. He's got massive health. He has some nice skills too. We're crushing at the moment.
Ready to lead.
Oh, that's not looking good. Their main knight forces.
Get ready. Those are knights, the heavy cavalry of the Crusaders. Yes. Let's go.
All right, let's do this. Now, there's a reason why I sent the cavalry in to blunt the charge. Oh wow, Saladin, you better take a powder. Oh, this looks a bit more challenging. We need. Oh, we've got some friends coming in. That's okay. Starting to get a bit worried. Yep, we did it.
Excellent. Their lines have been broken. The Christian army is in disarray. Now is our chance. Move on. Forward. Fight. Get them all. In the name of God, victory will be ours.
And that is the end of the first chapter of the Saladin's Conquest add-on or expansion pack for this wonderful game. I really enjoyed it, and I realise it was a long episode, but I loved every second of it. I'm going to keep playing this game. And again, a big thank you to One IC Productions and Destructive Creations for the review copy of this game. I look forward to seeing your future work and look forward to playing the rest of this game. So let me know what you think, guys. I realise it was a long episode, but I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Until next time, Skill Incarnate out.